All righty then. Hey, I guess we're live. I don't know. Yeah.
Look on yours and see. Wouldn't that be an indication? Oh, see, I don't know how Facebook works. How do you see where you live on Facebook? Do you know?
Look, I see the timer ticking, so let's just go. Let's just go.
Are
All
you
right. We
sure?
just gonna call this episode one of the Legacy Lounge. We're just gonna talk about
Love
legacy,
it.
about finance, and we're gonna talk about everything that goes into making a great legacy, which is all the stuff that goes into making a great life. You have me, Tino, Commissioner Gordon, over here, Fancy.
Hola.
Okay. Anything you want to say special, Fancy?
No, I just want to get it cracking and make it happen. I'm happy to be in the Legacy Lounge because it's so imperative to make people aware of what their options are. My passion really, Tino, is suited in the fact that people are not stupid, but they ignorant. If they don't know the ability they have with the things they currently have in their possession, that's not fair. So I'm here to educate the masses and just empower people with information so that they can make informed decisions for themselves.
Okay. Okay. So then with that being said, tell me about like one of the last big things you've done to really impact somebody's life to really, you got that infinite heritage going on.
Yeah.
About it.
And you know what? Just to kind of even pinpoint that, the infinite heritage speaks to what is the number one buzzword right now. Everybody is about legacy, generational wealth, right? And so we're starting to get these bites and inclinations and insight on how we can structure things now that's going to
Mm-hmm.
affect later. We know that's going to happen anyway, but when we do it deliberately, right,
Yeah.
it affects everything. So just making people aware of that. Um, Honestly, Tino, it's as simple as reallocating funds, right? Instead of putting our money here, we put it here. And now we're gaining uninterrupted compound interest. We've got access to that money, it's
Mm-hmm.
liquid, right? So now we
Mm-hmm.
can put that money to work somewhere else because we've cloned it instead of just locking it up in a 401k where you don't have access to it. It's volatile, your money going up and down, you ain't got nothing to do with it. In case of emergency, if you want it, you got to show and prove why you want your money that you put away, right?
Yeah, so you hit on a lot of good things. I'm just gonna roll it back and start at the top. When you were saying legacy as a buzzword, what does actually legacy mean to you?
I think a legacy can be, it's going to be left either advertently or inadvertently. Because if your legacy is a GoFundMe, your legacy can indeed be a GoFundMe because you didn't do or things weren't structured properly, right? So the
True.
legacy is going to be the legacy, whatever. Whether or not you want that chapter read out loud once you're gone, right? You're going to be the determining factor in that. So it's just ensuring things are done right today to affect our tomorrow positively is my goal.
Yeah. So that goes back. I know some of the things that we were talking about kind of behind the scenes, and then even on the call that we were on this morning. Like, simply what I tell people is whether you realize it or not, we all will leave a legacy. Everything that we do affects somebody else down the road eventually, whether if it's just the things that you do that affects your family, your children, your parents, the rest of your family members, your friends, your community. Like, we all will leave a legacy. It's just that most people, they're not intentional about the legacy they're
That's the
leaving.
part.
They're
That's
not intentional about the lives that they're living.
yep.
So then, it's just like how do you want to be remembered, but what impact do you have on somebody? Some people may say, hey, none of this matters. But then, because you say that, it affected somebody else. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it all matters at some point.
You know what I look at, Tino? When I
Mhm.
hear things like that, I ask them, if you've lost a grandparent, a parent, a great grandparent, if they had that ideology versus if they didn't, right? A lot of people have inherited things, whether it be a house or whether it be debt, right? So, not making a decision to make a decision is a decision that can be detrimental for yourself and others, right? So, that's my goal is just to make it relatable, like you say, because people think, not doing nothing is okay, but not doing nothing paves the way to destruction for the people coming behind you.
Yeah, true. True. And then I know you was talking about, you mentioned like 401k and finances and things like that. So what it was always funny, especially talking to certain people, is like, the mindset of, oh, I didn't come from money. I'm not going to have any money. I'm not going to leave any money. I always think like, I may have not come from money, but I don't want to die with no money either. Like.
Yeah. When terrible. You say 401k, I want to. I can't make it make sense, because essentially what people sometimes don't readily identify is that it's not never taxed, it's taxed later. So instead of you being taxed on 5,000, they saying, no, put your money up. We want to wait till you got 500,000 and then we'll take taxes. Well, how's that logical? Who am I working for? That's slaughter. That's Wagyu beef. Like, you're just letting me fatten myself up so that you could take a bigger chunk. Right? Things like that. And people don't know that there are places where they can put their money and they're never taxed, right? Or they're taxed on this end with the lesser, not the more, right? So that way you're able to obtain more for yourself.
Yeah, so it's funny because very interesting, especially because you got the tree in the background, and I'm always thinking about nature and how things relate to that. So it's pretty much what you're saying is like, would you rather get taxed on your seed or on your harvest? And then
that's simple.
You're saying, hey, I'd rather get taxed on the seed, not the harvest.
Absolutely. And I think most people share that ideology. They're just not aware that there's an alternative. And I don't think it's the worst thing. A lot of the times I've advised my clients to absolutely contribute up to the match, right? Yeah. Because if they're matching your funds, that makes sense. But other than that, no, we're not doing that. We don't need to share with Uncle Sam. He ain't my uncle. He ain't your uncle. What we over? Nah, no thank you. No thanks. Uncle Sam don't overshare with us. So just kind of making people aware of options. But that's what I'm saying. That's my whole goal, is to let people know that there are very vital, beneficial options available to you right now, no matter how much you make.
No matter how much we make.
A lot of people feel stagnant. They don't feel like, a lot of people are in survival mode. So they don't think that they are in a position to be able to strive. But that's because they don't understand the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Albert Einstein said, he who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it.
That's it. So I want to empower people to understand it. Money does work. Money does grow. You got to place it, see that tree, in the proper place for it to grow. You know what I mean? When you make money, you don't want to keep working for the money. You have to position the money to work for you. That's the only way it's going to work. And we see that in so many different business models, right? But we're able to do that on a personal level just by allocating our money to the proper accounts. It's all tax code.
Yeah. So again, this could be overwhelming for somebody who doesn't have any type of financial knowledge, not studying finances, because, the average person is, doing their day-to-day, whatever it is their profession is, and then coming home and maybe having to take care of kids and the family and everything. So where would you recommend a person to start, where it's just like, hey, we can get you into
with me. So no.
Hey, look. Hey, and let people know how to reach you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'll say this. As with most things in life, it's not one size fits all. Sometimes I'm in a position where I have to help people find the money, whether that's through their exemptions, right? What's being taken from them. Sometimes I've been in positions where I've had to get really intricate with my clients. Like, look, we're gonna buy the off-brand coat. When it comes for the cookout, you ain't got to put that out, but every little bit help. We ain't gotta have this, that, and the third. We don't realize sometimes, just trying to have comfort, how much money we just let slip through our hands and squander away, where just taking that small amount of $25 per week puts you in a different rate class altogether within a couple of years.
Oh man, you talking about $25 per week? Oh, the biggest. The
Come on.
greatest joy that I've
Come
experienced
on.
this week, helping a father show him how $25 a week can turn his child into a millionaire.
You made a trust fund baby out of a child. Can you speak to people? Can
Oh
they do that
man,
for
because
how
he
do they
was
have to
really
have
looking.
$1,000 a month for that? What do they need to make their babies a trust fund baby?
Oh man, $25 a week.
$25 a week?
That was it. That's one meal. One meal. If you can sacrifice one meal a week from going out, because if you got kids and you going to McDonald's, you spending $25.
Probably more depending on how many kids you got.
Exactly. So it's like we're gonna put this into an account. It's gonna get to a millionaire status. It's gonna have $1 million in it over time.
By just me taking maybe 2 of my subscriptions, like if I take away Netflix and Hulu, that's what we can do.
Hey, look, if that's the thing that you want to sacrifice to get to a millionaire status, Netflix and Hulu, go for it. For him, he was like, look, only thing I need to do is stop one meal a week.
You know, I shared something and I think it's heavy. People always talking about how they will die for their children, but your children don't need you to die for them. They need you to live for them. They need that dad that has the mentality to say, okay, we're going to cut out one meal a week to make sure that when you're my age, you're much further than me. And that's all any parent really wants for their child, to be better, to go further. And people need a head start. There's a certain demographic, a certain class that require a head start.
Yeah. Because it's interesting that you say that too, because when people say I'll die for my kids and stuff all the time, it's like, I'm not asking you to die.
Please don't
Your
die.
kids don't need you to die. They just need you to put away $25.
That's it. As early as possible. Now, Tino, talk to the people and tell them I got to wait till my child is in double digits or starting school to start that.
Nah. You can start that usually, 14 days old?
14 days old. Do other people know about that?
I mean,
other classes? Is that something that other people do?
Okay. Yeah.
Tino, can we also speak to the fact that they know this, they do this? Let me ask you this. How many of these type of things can I do? Can I only do one per child?
You can do as many as they're out there. If you maxed it out with one company, there's another company that you can start over with.
Well, Tino, what if something happens and I need access? I'm putting this money away from my child, but what about me today? But I'm just putting away money for them. Do I have access to that money?
Yes.
Oh, so you're telling me I have a piggy bank for my child that's gaining uninterrupted compound interest. I have access to the money. My bank don't give me 8 to 12% if I put it over there. If I put it under my mattress, it's not going to get that. And in case of emergency, the money is liquid. Unlike like a college plan, a 529, putting it in a 401k, they don't have the liquidity that I can reach out and touch the money to do something with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, it's not something that you have to buy. Like how you were saying before, we just moving money from a place where it's not serving you, moving it to a place where it is serving you and where it's going to gain and grow faster than you could ever imagine. Especially it's going to gain and grow faster more than where you're keeping your money now. And then when you want to use it for college, down payment on a house, a car, whatever, tell me about how many different ways you can use $1 million.
Well, let me ask you this. If I want to have access to this money, kind of like maybe like the equity in my home, do I have to have good credit to get access to my money that I've been putting away? Nothing like that. So it's no strings attached. No strings attached.
Hey, it's like the old what was it? J.G. Whitworth.
It's my money.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly.
Run me my money on. I want it now, right? That's the whole thing. And so what people don't, and this is why it's so important to talk about, because of the fact that what makes this viable is a code provided by the IRS that says, hey, you can have this account. You can make this kind of money. And when we see this number, we're not going to touch your money. We're not going to tax you. We're not going to bother you because of this code that says it simply has a life insurance policy attached to it. The bank don't even have that. Even when you get an account with the bank, they're going to send you something and say, give you a false sense of security saying you can have $1 million in life insurance. And in real small print, it's going to say, if you die by accident. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing that I always teach, 3 parts to a legacy. There's the foundation, which is again how you grew up, the things that rooted you. There is the finances, and that's what we're talking about now. And then there's the future, which is, again, because we come back, money is just a tool. What are you doing with it? So I want people to know that, again, the finance part doesn't have to be this big mountain. It's as simple as take money from one account, put it into another account, let the money grow. Now what are you going to do with it? So, you grew this money, especially like in the example of this week with the father and his children. Okay, so you know that your children are going to be millionaires. What do you teach them now?
Right.
You got the money part solved.
Right.
You did all of this searching. You found the solution. You were like, wow, it was just that easy. Yeah. Now what do you do? How do you raise your children knowing like, hey, I am raising guaranteed future millionaires? What do I teach them? How do I teach them to move and operate in the world? Because they won't have the same struggles that you had growing up.
That's true.
Even later on in life, they won't have the same struggles.
Which is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it squandered. So as a parent in that position, how do you teach them, Commissioner? What do you do?
Yeah, that's the thing, So then, one, if you don't want them to just waste the money, that's when we start talking about wills, trust, things of that nature. But
again, isn't a will enough? I just need a will, right?
A will is just a ticket to get to court.
Just get in court.
To get in court. You got your ticket, they stamp it. Okay, now let's talk about whatever's on the will.
What I'm going to choose to do with your money.
Hey, don't put it like that. That's hurtful.
That is exactly how it goes when you allow third-party entities to be involved in your affairs and businesses by not properly structuring or insulating it in a trust where you get to dictate, navigate, and allocate from the grave how you want things to go.
Hey, wait, go back. That was a bar. I don't know how you...
Bars. See, you know how I do. Don't give me hype. You already know.
I need to write that down.
You're going to allow a third party after you done worked all your years.
Uh-huh.
Did everything you were supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
Now you gone.
Mm-hmm.
And now you allow somebody who doesn't have a vested interest in you, your survivors, your legacy, or anything to come in, dictate, navigate, negotiate, and allocate what should happen with your money. Because you had a will. Because you didn't take the next step to properly insulate it in a trust that's not pierceable, that's irrevocable, that has a non-guarantor. I ain't gonna go. I'm not gonna go. But
yeah. Give them, the bite size,
just a little bit,
little appetizer, little
appetizer. I'm excited for people though. I do get kind of hype. I go far. I go hard. My clients love it. It kind of worked for me because it's the passion behind making people aware. And another part of that for me is that I bought my first house at 21. I was able to witness certain things. 2 things I'll tell you I've witnessed in these 25 years that I've been on Earth. Is that as soon as certain people, we'll just say the masses, become privy to certain information, the rules change.
Yeah.
Whether it's credit, whether it's home ownership, right? And we live in an information technology time. Now is the most opportune time to take advantage of stuff that we hear whispers about that the Rockefellers use, that the Rothschilds use, that they're still benefiting from today. And now that people are waking up and starting to get a taste of it and make practical application, you mark the days and you be careful. You better get in where you fit in now before the rules change and you're not able to take advantage of it. You're not grandfathered in.
Yeah. Because then, like you said, they're going to dictate and allocate and all the other 8 words that you said. Pretty much you saying your money going to get 8 up.
8. And that ain't great. So,
That's crazy. You out here just feeding the government,
Yeah.
feeding
Yeah.
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam's supposed to take care of you. You know.
They make it sound so great, though. We're just unaware. You know, you work for a nonprofit, you've got a 403B, a tax shelter. No, we're moving away from tax later to tax never. No, no. What's
That's
imperative?
that's deep.
There's tax evasion, there's tax illusion. One is legal, one is not illegal. I suggest you place yourself on the right side. People are mad at very prominent and important people and presidential candidates because they're aware and they take advantage of IRS. I won't even call them loopholes.
It's the
It's
tax.
readily accessible. It's just the
Yeah.
law.
Mhm.
It's just the law that people are not aware of. That everybody has access to utilize. So we're not trying to evade taxes or anything like that. We don't want no evasion. We ain't trying to go down like that. But we do want to make practical application of provisions that are made available to us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is
Avoidance, that's the
completely,
word.
is
Exactly.
completely legal. So it's knowing the difference between the two because they sound the same, but it's completely different. If I was to say, "Hey, you walk in this door, and I'm just going to start punching,"
Mhm.
you got to get hit. But if you try to dodge these punches, I'm like, "Hey, we're going to throw you in jail because that's illegal." So you're trying to evade all the punches. But if I say, "Hey, if you don't walk in this door at all, you can
You
just
got to
go
worry
back
about
to
it.
where you made." Yeah, you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
So we're saying that we're just going to set people up so that they don't have to walk in the door and try
And
to
get
dodge
punched
all
on.
the punches. Because either you're going to get punched
You're going to get punched on if you go
or
through the
you're
door.
going to get thrown in jail and have a fine or some type of consequence because you're trying to protect yourself by dodging.
Yeah.
Just avoid it altogether.
Just avoid it.
Look. The government could say, "Hey, you know what? Here's a way to avoid this altogether. You don't want the problems. You don't want the smoke. You don't have to deal with it. Take advantage of it."
That's it. Very
You know,
simplistic.
there's enough people in there who are gonna get hit. You don't
Right.
have to be one of them.
Listen, my father taught me you learn from everybody. You learn what to do and you learn what not to do. And success leaves clues. It's very simple,
Mhm.
right? You just have to tune in, plug into the right things.
Yeah, man, taxes. Especially if you're gonna make, if your plan is to make money, then you definitely need to sit down with somebody to figure out that whole tax situation.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine, everything that you worked hard for, 40% of it just gone. And then with the state taxes, they're talking about lowering the actual threshold for it. So if it's like, oh, you don't got to pay if it's 12 million, like, hey, I don't have 12 million. I'm good. I don't have to pay these taxes. If they lower the bar to 6, okay, that just affects a lot of people. If they keep lowering the bar, it's like how much and how many times are they going to have to lower the bar until it hits you? And then,
That's mega.
It's like, I thought that was just for them. No, it's for you too.
They say people don't smell it till their nose is in the poop. When your nose in it,
Yeah,
then you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? So it's all about preventative measures. And another part of this is that, you look around and a lot of people have a very entrepreneurial spirit, mindset, endeavor, goal. And that's another place where these type of accounts come in a very beneficial way in terms of succession planning, right? So we're talking about it on one end, just how it affects your family with your everyday comings and goings and things like that. But what if you're a business owner as well? You also equally want to take advantage of these same things for the same reason, if not greater.
So basically, we're just showing people how to create wealth in the easiest, simplest way possible, with all of the benefits that come along with these plans, and then have a great life. That's what it's all about. Like, what legacy are you leaving?
Yeah.
What are you creating? Everything that you're doing for a purpose. What's the purpose?
I try to readily express to people, like, this is not your grandparents' life insurance. We are not in the business of talking to people about death insurance. This is truly life insurance. things that are available to you now. You ain't got a work sponsored life insurance policy that's going to do the things for you that your own is going to do with living benefits that allows you to utilize the money while you're living, right?
Yeah.
These are accounts to say, hey, listen, grow your money here, grow your money fast. And by the way, if you happen to pass away unexpectedly or even expectedly, whatever the case may be, we're gonna cash out. There's going to be a lump sum in association with that.
Hey, real quick, say that thing that you said the other day when you was talking about like you put your money in for a little time and the bank is going to put the money in for a long.
Here go the thing, Commissioner Gordon. That is, I'll say that's tier 2, but I'll speak to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what I'm finding is that it's a mindset shift that needs to occur when people are recognizing what these products are able to do for them. It's not complicated. It's very simple. And so I'm appreciative of the fact that we all have visual aids and graphs to show people that. But people are not aware. People think that the banks are the finance companies. If I can go just a little bit further, the biggest finance companies in America are the insurance companies, because in 1901, 1902, 1903, 4, and 5, they were insuring slaves. So when we talk about old money, that's what we're talking about. The banks go to the insurance company. The insurance companies do not go to the banks, right? But at face value, this is what we see. So people are unaware that there are life insurance companies structured with financial institutes, because they are the financial institutes, where you can pay your life insurance for 2 years and they pay it for 10 years. Then they cash you out. So what I said was something along the lines of you could pay for a little time. What did I say to you? You wrote it down.
Oh, man.
What did I say?
You said something along the lines of you pay for a little while time, and the bank pays for a long time and you cash out in the end. It was something like that.
That's the concept.
Mm-hmm.
That's the concept. People are not aware that they can do that. People take lump sum buyouts here in Michigan. People get access to lawsuits. People get money from other insurance policies. And statistics state that when people get a lump sum of money, because of mindset, they squander it. Even multimillionaires who win jackpot, mega millions, it's gone within years.
Yeah.
It's gone. And it's not uncommon. Everybody says for millionaires, you lose your first million and it's easier to get to the second million is easier to make, right? But what I hear there is, what you lose the first million for? See, the acquisition of money, some people know how to get it, but knowing how to grow it is something totally different.
Yeah. You got to earn it, keep it, multiply it. And the whole keeping it and multiplying it, that's where a lot of people fall off.
That's where people fall off right at that point. There was something else that I made note of. I'm going to have to get in the booth one day because I really feel like, I'll be flowing. But there's something that states, I have to save it for next time. I can't find my notes.
Hey, well, that's good. So tell the people exactly what they can expect when they tune in next time.
I can't. I'm off the chain with it. Who knows?
Look,
fit in. Stay tuned for further notice, but it's always going to be live, educational, interactive.
Next time we are going to go deep. We're going to take a little bit more time on the 401k roller coaster / trap.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate. I wonder if we're being seen. I don't know how to work this. I hope we are live to the people. I don't know if anybody's talking to us and we can't.
We are live and we're about to end it. Just end it. Shut it down for right now. Okay. Tune in next time for the roller coaster of the trap of the 401k. We're going to be here. We're going to do this. Let's just do this every Thursday.
Absolutely. I'm with it. Thanks for taking time out. I enjoyed it. Definitely anybody who was privy to it, do not hesitate to reach out to either one of us with any kind of inquiries. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And those who are going to watch the replay, just hit us up.
Oh, we got a replay. Just hit us up. All right.